Let's take a beat and really think about this. What is the single most terrifying crisis facing humanity today? Are we even barking up the right tree when we try to answer that? In medicine, there's a golden rule. Prescribing a cure is completely pointless if you haven't nailed down the diagnosis. If we can't accurately identify the core disease plaguing the human race, how can we ever hope to heal it? Only by diagnosing the true root of the problem can we figure out the right course of action. In today's video, we are going to look under the hood of human civilization to uncover that exact problem. Let's dive in. Let's start with the heavy stuff. Frankly, just talking about these issues is a burden. Who really wants to listen to a laundry list of the world's misery, right? But to see the whole picture, we have to face the music. One, extreme poverty and hunger. Some folks argue that poverty is public enemy number one. Because of extreme poverty, people are literally starving to death. The statistics are chilling. Every 3 seconds, someone dies of hunger. That's nearly 9 million people a year. If that's hard to wrap your head around, think about this. In the time it took you to listen to this sentence, 10 people just passed away because they couldn't get a single meal. And more than half of them are children under 5. Kids who haven't even learned to walk or talk are the ones falling through the cracks. Think about it. There is no war, no global pandemic that claims as many lives daily as simple, heartbreaking hunger. And then there's water. Every 57 seconds, someone dies from a lack of clean drinking water. Over 800,000 people a year. By the time you finish watching this video, hundreds will have died from waterborne diseases. Again, mostly kids. Every single day, we lose about 1,000 children, an entire elementary school's worth of kids wiped out just for a sip of water. And the world watches in silence. The most tragic part? These deaths are 100% preventable. A glass of clean water, one basic meal, that's all it would take. We actually did a deep dive on the global water crisis in a previous episode. The link is in the description if you want to check it out. 2. Overpopulation. Then there's the overpopulation crowd. They argue that the real villains of this story, every single minute, 250 new human beings are born onto this planet. In the time it takes you to process this thought, another 500 people have arrived. Feed them. Where will they sleep? As the population bursts at the seams, it drags along a domino effect of crises. Food shortages, deforestation, air pollution, and climate chaos. Today, millions go to bed hungry because there simply isn't enough to go around. Will this rock we live on sustain us, or are we literally eating ourselves out of house and home? It's enough to keep you up at night. 3. The unemployment epidemic. For others, the job market is the ultimate crisis. Do you have a steady paycheck? Take a second and imagine your life without one. Across the globe, millions of young adults are pounding the pavement, desperately looking for work and coming up empty. When people are out of work, a dark cloud settles over their lives. First, families go hungry, sparking domestic tension. Second, mental health takes a nosedive. Depression and despair set in.
I don't know, I just don't know what to do anymore.
Third, crime spikes and the social fabric tears. Finally, the national economy tanks. No job means no dreams, no future, and no reason to keep pushing. How could anyone say that isn't a massive problem? 4. The breakdown of the family unit. Some argue that the real decay is happening right in our living rooms, the fracturing of the family. Is your family life stable? Imagine if it shattered tomorrow. Every day, millions of families are quietly breaking apart behind closed doors, and nobody makes a sound about it. Domestic strife destroys people from the inside out. Bitter divorces, marital warfare, sibling rivalries. These conflicts don't just echo off the walls. They leave deep, permanent scars on the human psyche. The breakdown of the family is the breeding ground for global anxiety, depression, and suicide. And the kids? They pay the heaviest toll, their futures derailed. When the family crumbles, the community fractures, and eventually, the nation falls apart. 5. Global politics and geopolitical conflict. If you keep up with the news, you probably think geopolitical strife is our deepest wound. Every war, every famine, every displaced child has a political string attached to it. Political crises uproot lives. People are forced to abandon their homes, turning into refugees overnight. Today, a staggering 110 million people are displaced worldwide due to conflict. From Gaza to Ukraine to Sudan, children in these regions aren't going to school. They're growing up with front-row seats to destruction. Politicians play chess for power, but the pawns are everyday people paying the ultimate price. When politics stops serving the people and becomes a weapon of mass destruction, we are all caught in the crossfire. 6. The climate emergency. Or maybe, climate change is the final boss. Temperatures are skyrocketing, polar ice caps are melting, and sea levels are creeping up. Climate change is no longer a dystopian threat for our grandkids. It's a terrifying reality right in our backyard. Heat waves, catastrophic floods, hurricanes and droughts are claiming millions of lives. Crops are failing and animal species are being wiped off the map. Scientists are sounding the alarm. By 2050, we could see up to 200 million climate refugees. Coastal nations will literally be swallowed by the ocean. This isn't science fiction. It is cold, hard reality. So, we've just laid out the big six, the heavyweight crises of our time. But let's take a step back and really look at this. If we magically snapped our fingers and solved one or two of these, would the world suddenly turn into a utopia? Not a chance. Let's say we completely resolve your family trauma. That doesn't fix the melting ice caps or stop a war halfway across the globe. Or let's say we throw billions of dollars at developing nations. Does a fat bank account magically fix human nature? Think about it. Some of the most resource-rich regions in the world, sitting on literal diamond mines or oceans of oil, still suffer from profound human rights abuses, extreme inequality, and moral bankruptcy. Wealth alone does not buy human decency. We are looking for a silver bullet, a single solution that, if implemented, creates a ripple effect powerful enough to heal all these wounds. The truth is, we've been putting band-aids on bullet wounds. We've been treating the symptoms while the disease ravages on. So, the million-dollar question is, have we entirely missed the real problem this whole time? Actually, we are finally knocking on the right door. The absolute, fundamental crisis, the root of the rot, is the profound lack of a true, practical education for human development. Our global crisis is a massive deficit in systems that teach us how to be genuinely human. We need an educational framework worldwide that doesn't just push students through a factory line to hand them a piece of paper, but one that actually cultivates character, empathy, and practical wisdom. If we can instill this kind of grounded, human-centric education from childhood, it would forge a generation equipped to solve every single problem we just talked about. Let's connect the dots. Poverty and unemployment. A truly educated mind doesn't just look for a handout, they become critical thinkers, innovators, and job creators. A well-educated population turns an overpopulation crisis into a nation's greatest intellectual asset. Politics. Educated, morally grounded citizens hold their leaders to a higher standard, bridging the gap of inequality and rejecting corrupt politics. Family. True education builds emotional intelligence and mutual respect, which drastically cuts down on domestic strife and broken homes. Climate. And finally, it is an enlightened, scientifically aware generation that will actually implement the radical, practical steps needed to save our environment. No matter which global tragedy you point to, if you pull on the root, you find the exact same cure: raising a generation armed with true, comprehensive education. Now, what exactly does this true education look like, and how do we build? We are going to unpack that entirely in a future video. But for today, the takeaway is clear. Recognizing this void of human development is the very first step. Addressing this root cause is the only way we will ever find a long-lasting, sustainable fix to the world's most agonizing problems. What do you guys think? Are we chasing the wrong solutions? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If this video gave you a new perspective, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.